Hey everyone, welcome to Ninja Monkey. Sunday, Monday, wherever you're watching, or if you're watching in the future, then feel free to leave a comment. I'll get to. But in today's video or today's live stream, we're going to be talking about this. We're going to be talking about is cash really still king in the land of high tech? You know, Japan is considered one of the lands of high tech, you know, this topic comes up quite a bit about money, about cash, about how much money you need and how to pay and if you need cash and that sort of thing. So we're going to be talking about this and a lot more in this live stream. And if you're new to the channel, then don't forget to like, hype and subscribe. Obviously, super chats and patrons and members will get priority along the way. So let's get to it. I'm just going to read some of the things that I have written down here on my trusty iPad. So I'm going to be talking about how Japan is living in a hybrid world. We'll see what we mean. There is a problem with this, specifically this bill and some of the newer bills that were recently introduced. There is a problem that I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about how the iPhone can be, or the Apple Watch can be a great replacement for your wallet. When you need to pay with cash, when you need to pay with card, coins, ATMs, the when is cash accepted, when it isn't accepted, Suica cards, 10,000 yen bills, how to use them, when to use them, digital Suica, coin tips, ATM fees, and a little hack that I've discovered in my last few trips that could save you some money, and so much more. So much more. What to do with your last 1,000 yen, and how to travel rural Japan. There's a lot to unpack, but that's basically what we're going to be talking about. And as always, we have a great community of people here in Ninja Monkey. So if you are new, and I don't have the answer, there'll be somebody in the chat that will be able to answer me or answer you, better said. So yeah, let's get to it, everyone. And as always, let's start. Well, we start already with Frog Lady, Banana and Yuzu Funds. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you so much, Frog Lady. And we have Lord McGray that sent 5 Ninja Monkey gift memberships. Arigatou gozaimasu. And we have Jim Ross that's also sent 5 Ninja Monkey memberships. Arigatou gozaimasu. By the way, members not only support the channel, it's a great way of supporting, and you get access to special emojis that you can show off. So yeah, so thank you so much. Let's see who's here. Philippe is here. Hi, how are you doing? Credit cards would be accepted in addition to IC cards. They are slowly rolling out, but I think that the rollout is going to take many more years. And also, they, at the moment, as far as I'm aware, they are pretty much only being like installed in 1 or 2 of the ticket gates. You know, so if there's 7 ticket gates, only 1 would be of that style to begin with. So watch that space, definitely. Lorne McGray is here, obviously. Hola a todos. Andres, how are you doing? And by the way, Andres, I've just put out a video on Happy Gaijin, and it's got a Spanish audio track. And I'm excited to share some Spanish stuff on that channel. Waiting early. Thanks for waiting. Hey, Carl, how are you doing? Thanks for being here. Common commenter. Yeah, awesome. Don't forget to like, everyone. I don't know, can you even hype during a live stream? This is all weird. Frog Lady, how are you doing, my friend? I'm looking forward. I'm going to be meeting Frog Lady. Yeah. I'm excited. Girl Wander Down Under, always here to grace us with all the stuff that I don't know. The crew gathers indeed, Jim. And Japan Ichiban, thanks also once again for being here. Whew. Is cash king? Yes or no? What do you think, guys? If I don't get to your comments immediately, then, you know, just be patient. But Yeah. Hey Blue, how you doing? And Mark G and Scale Delights. N Scale Delights. Lots of awesome people here delighting us. But let's get to the topic. And the question that I have for everyone is cash king in Japan? And what does that mean? What I mean is, do you need cash? This is not a choice. I'm not talking about I choose to use cash over cards or I choose to use cards over Suica. I'm talking about, is it necessary to use cash in Japan? And how far has Japan come in the whole digital era of touch payments and contactless payments and that sort of thing? Because things have changed a lot in Japan, and I think that when it comes to payments, that's probably one of the things that has changed the most in my 11, nearly 12 years of traveling around Japan. Cash and how to pay and all that kind of thing. Hey Jamie, how are you doing? Japan is miles away from a cashless society, says Braden. I'd like to know what you guys think. Is Japan how far into a cash-free society is Japan? Let's see what you guys think before we get into the topic. Many places I used to frequent no longer accept cash. Interesting. Explain what you mean by that, Craig. And I've been to some places that have been only digital payment or cash payment. There are now places in Japan that take only cash, but there are some that are cash free. So you have to be prepared for both. Indeed, Bojo. I've seen vending machines for tickets, for card payments, for temples, shrines. Cash is less king since the pandemic. Not necessarily, but should always keep a few thousand yen on you. Yes, you do need cash, says N-Scale Delights. How else are you going to get gachapon? We're going to be talking about that. That's on my list. Look, that is actually on my list. I have gachapon on my list. I do. Promise. I hyped your video, and because you are a small creator, I got to hype 2,780 points. Really? You know, the whole hype thing goes completely over my head. I really don't understand how it works. Cash is more king in Japan. Here in the UK, I have only used cash 2 or 3 times since the pandemic. In Japan, I've needed cash for something most days. Let's go. Brandon is flying to Tokyo tomorrow. Awesome. Cash has become less king in Japan, but you still need some. I use both because we visit a lot of out of the way places. Frog Lady, that is a very important valid point that I have here in my list. I still think there are lots further away from cashless than say Europe or other Western countries. Knights, yes. Cash is still king at the point in time. Payment by card has increased, but still limited. Yeah. And finally, Girl Wanda, before I get into the topic, there will always be cash-only places, luggage lockers in rural areas, some small-scale restaurants, temples, etc. Yeah, definitely. And I think the cash versus card reality is that Japan is in a hybrid world, and basically you need both. I think increasingly there are places, although I wouldn't say it's a huge problem at the moment, that would only take digital payments. An example of this was actually the Osaka Expo last year that was actually cashless. And there's been a few examples during my travels where I've actually been in a position where it's only been digital payment or cash or non-cash payments. Some trendy stores, some trendy cafes actually have not accepted card, but I think it's more of a minority rather than a majority. I think the majority of places will still accept card. Basically, in Japan, it's a little bit of a mixed bag. You can tap to buy something randomly expensive, like some high-end piece of clothing, but then you still need coins for a shrine, or you still need coins for some vending machines. Not all vending machines accept cards. Some do, some don't. So it is really that kind of place, and you can't rely on 100% on cards, especially when you are in locations off the beaten path. The further away you go from a main city, the less likely it is that they will accept card. And don't forget that there are many places, including ramen stores, that will only be cash only. Things are changing, and there's a reason for it, and the reason is to do with this specific, maybe not specific, but this beautiful, actually very beautiful, very, very beautiful, I love it, should frame it, note and others. So can you pay for things with a normal British bank card, or is it better to have something like a Suica? John, that's a good question, and the answer is you can mostly pay for anything with a bank card that accepts contactless payment. The only thing is that you do need to check with your bank if there are any transaction fees or foreigner transaction fees or currency conversion fees, because those could actually stack up, and you can actually end up spending a little bit of money extra on every single transaction, and it will add up. So speak to your bank. Alternatively, you've mentioned Suica, and I will mention Suica later on. If you have a digital Suica if you have an Apple device, then you can just simply install a digital Suica and top up directly onto your Suica, and then pay that way, or use a currency app like Wise or Revolut, which is I use both actually, but I mostly use Revolut, because those apps, and most importantly, don't just rely on the app and don't just rely on Apple Pay, but get yourself a physical card that goes hand in hand with those foreign like currency cards or digital transaction cards or whatever they're called, travel cards, because then you'll be safe, I would say. Strangely enough, I did see gacha machines that accepted cards last time around. Ooh, I mean, things are slowly becoming less cash, right? I do hoard 100 yen coins. We're going to be talking about that, hoarding. Gazumi, how are you doing? Love Japan. Do you have any plans to come to Hawaii? Curtisel, I would love to go to Hawaii. I would absolutely love to go to Hawaii. Obviously, I don't have specific plans, but I would love to visit. Cigar Atache, hello. Awesome. Yeah, 100 yen coins are the best. They are king. I think they are definitely one of the kings of coins. Laurie, hi everyone. Airline ticket prices have been fluctuating this week. I haven't bought mine yet. It's hard when I say that. I love to visit markets, so I always have cash for that. Indeed, Frog Lady has a very valid point here, and that is markets, and not just markets, but like food stalls around temples, around special festivals, matsuris, etc. If you're gonna go to a matsuri, it's very, very likely that they won't accept cards. If you want to get yourself a beer, like or a snack, some soba or whatever, like from one of the vendors, yakitori or whatever, the likelihood is that they won't accept cards, so you need to be careful. I wish Suica was available on Samsungs eventually, yeah. I wish so too. I mean, I try not to go too much into it because I'm aware that the audience is split and there's some people that have Android devices. So I just mention it nowadays in my videos very carefully, just to make it like a point that it exists and that you can use it. So many countries with such stunning paper money. Then there's our money. Well, I guess each country would look at each other, at other countries, and feel the same way. Alipay is widely accepted in Japan and works fine on Android. Nice. That's pretty cool that you can use Alipay in Japan. I hadn't even thought of that. That's a really good tip. I'm gonna have to talk to you about that, because I am thinking of this is basically a precursor, or not precursor, but sort of like a live stream based on a video that I have an idea of making, like currency and money stuff, like a proper 12-minute video where I condense all the important things. I have tickets for the Note Theatre on Saturday, and they asked for cash payment on the day. Interesting. Cash payment only. Interesting. Also. Wow. I was short on cash at a thrift shop in Japan, so I emptied all the coins into the counter. The cashier picked everything up except for many 1 and 5 yen coins in the end, and said discount. Yeah, claw game machines that accept IC cards. I've seen that. That is very dangerous. It's very easy to spend. Indeed. Any updates on the new Suica? Well, they're working on. Well, they're supposed to be announcing a new mascot at some point, and there is some updates to digital Suica, mobile digital Suica for iPhone devices that you should know about. However, in terms of normal Suica, they are meant to be including digital payments and QR code payments. They're supposed to be also bumping up the maximum credit that you can have on the Suica, and all those things are supposed to be happening before the end of this year. So I don't know exactly what the timeline is, but there will be changes. I don't like digital cards. Hackers can get into any of those supposedly safe phones, etc. Actual physical cards are still safer than phones, etc. I don't know about that. I think it's, me personally, I think it will be a lot harder for somebody to steal my digital card than for them to steal my wallet with my card in it. You know, like, anyway, but right. There's apparently over 2 million retailers that accept Alipay in Japan. The question is what percentage of retailers is that? That would be a good question, really. So, right, I want to talk about this. I've teased this a few times, and for those of you who are new in to the channel, I want to introduce myself. I'm Nathan. I'm holding a 1,000 yen, very beautiful Japanese currency bill, and this one is quite new. It was released, I think, a year ago, maybe 2 years ago now. I can't keep track of time, but we have this beautiful Great Wave there, and you notice that's actually Mount Fuji there, very beautiful. And this 1,000 yen bill has caused many problems, and perhaps you know, perhaps you don't know. And one of the problems is that a lot of vending machines and a lot of like ramen machines and that kind of thing haven't quite yet updated their systems to accept the new bills, and they're only accepting the old bills. And you will frequently see some vending machines with a little picture with a cross of this note as an example, and it's as a result of this one being a lot more high tech. It's got like holographic sort of thing, you know. It's just different, and therefore the some machines haven't been updated. Now what's happened actually is that this has actually shifted a lot of these companies, ramen stores, independent vending machine sellers, etc. They have actually opted that instead of upgrading their systems to accept this bill, they have upgraded their systems to accept credit cards, especially now with the influx of tourism, and you know, as contactless payments and credit card payments become more prevalent in Japan. That's what they're opting to do. They've had to choose, what can we do? Should we just update it for the new like notes, or should we update it, future-proof it? And a lot of people seem to have been doing that, which is one of the reasons why we've seen an acceleration now of more card payments in vending machines, etc. in the last 2 years. Yeah, old vending machines. So hey, back in the clay. I was gonna say back in the clay. I wanted to congratulate you, because I've been watching some of your live streams later on because of the time difference, and whenever I can, I say hello. You know I do. But I've seen that you've had quite a few viewers watching you, so well done. I'm very happy that things are working out for you with your LA streams. Loving it. Yeah. Also, the new 500 yen coin, as has been mentioned by Back in the Clay, can also be a problem and has an issue, and also Japan Ichiban has noted this. I had the problem with 1,000 yen notes in Taipei, Taoyuan, the currency exchange machine. No problem with the bank exchange. Yeah, 2,000 yen bills are accepted everywhere except for vending machines. Don't accept 2,000 yen 2,000 yen bills. 2,000 yen bills are a little bit like the unicorn bill of Japan. They are rare-ish. I mean, they're rare for Japanese. I don't think they're rare for foreigners. I think most foreigners end up getting 2,000 yen bills, which is so funny and ironic, right? But whenever you present a 2,000 yen bill, you usually get a moment of, oh, what? But they accept it, readily accept it. They love the 2,000 yen bills. But definitely not in the vending machine. Last year, April, we had some issues in Osaka with some new bills on the ticket machines in stations. They wouldn't take them. Obviously, things are slowly being updated. So, the information that I'm giving now is based on my experience in the last 12 months, or I was in Japan just a few months ago. But collectively, we have a great community. In fact, we have over 50 people right now watching this live stream collectively. Some of us have been to Japan, and I would love to hear your experiences when it comes to these bank bills. For those of you who have just joined, we're just talking about how this bill, the new one, isn't quite accepted in some vending machines. And don't forget to like. Giving a cashier 2,000 yen could turn into a mess. I don't think it would turn into a mess, but it would turn into an interesting experience, that's for sure. Definitely. Hey, Cliff Dog, did you watch my little video on Rishiri Island? I think you would like it. I was editing it and I was thinking of you because I got onto a ferry, and I was thinking, hey, finally I have some ferry footage for Cliff. Yeah, Clay? Congratulations, Clay. Super happy. Froggy is here indeed. My Kyoto Institute of Advanced Science admission and scholarship final on God confirmed. Okay, congratulations. You've never had a 2,000 yen note? Wow. I mean, I remember the very first time I went to Japan, that all my bills were in 2,000. I had, I don't know, like, I want to say 200,000 yen in 2,000 yen bills. Yeah, they are PS Prog. There are. Yeah, that's happened to me also, Blue Owl. I've had people see the 2,000 yen bill and call their colleagues, look, there's a 2,000 yen bill. And I've seen a tourist present a 2,000 yen bill, which is this is a little bit funny. I saw a tourist present a 2,000 yen bill. The cashier sort of made a oh my god, there's a 2,000 yen bill, made a big deal out of it, and then the tourist, realizing that it was rare, decided to keep it for himself. Cigar you haven't seen? Interestingly, yeah. At the airport, at a ramen shop, the girl was surprised. It was the first time she saw one and asked me to keep it. Now I save my 2,000 yen notes for my Japanese friends. Cool. I should do that. That would be pretty cool. I just got 30,000 yen for an upcoming trip, but no 2,000 yen notes. I'm sad. That is sad. But hey, you got 30,000 yen, so it shouldn't be sad. Solely sent to banks and currency exchange locations outside of Japan. That's why, probably. I guess it's like the £50 note in the UK. I've never seen one in the wild. Really, I've seen so many £50 notes. So many. But isn't there like a £500 note? Correct me if I'm wrong. I've never seen a £500 note. But isn't there something crazy like that? Is it a £500 note? We were just trying to get some change from the change machine for a gacha machine, and the only 1,000 yen I had left wouldn't work. Damn it, it was new, you see? So yeah, that's basically one of the things that you will notice when you're in Japan, is that this beautiful note, the new ones, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 yen, although most vending machines won't take anything above 1,000 yen, to be honest. But this note specifically can cause a lot of issues. So a lot of the time I try to exchange them, change them for the older notes, especially if I know I'm going to go to rural areas. I make a conscious decision to try and make sure that I spend all my new notes and try to get older ones for the rural areas. Now, the next topic that I have here is one I'm going to just touch upon very, very quickly, because I know that there are Android users here, but that is the use of the iPhone. I don't know where I put my iPhone. It must be somewhere. Where is it? I don't know. But the iPhone and Apple Pay, and is it better than an actual wallet? Not really, but it can be in conjunction with a wallet. And I'm just going to repeat here, and that is that if you do have an Apple device, my pro tip, or my golden banana tip, as I'm now like branding in this channel, my golden banana tip is 100% get yourself a currency card like a Revolut, and then top up your Suica, your digital Suica, using the currency card. You can do that at any point, anywhere, and you don't need and you won't get any conversion like fees or anything like that. I end up using my Suica, digital Suica, for a lot of payments. There have been times where I've actually been, and this goes for Suica also, just doesn't have to be digital Suica, but there have been many times where I've been to places that haven't accepted card, but they've accepted cash, and they've accepted Suica or Passmo or whatever. And my tip has been, if I just exchange some money from my bank to my digital Suica, then in theory I've just been able to hijack the whole system and do a digital payment that way. So some of the areas that you will need to actually use cash include temples, shrines. I mean, I've seen very, very few places that accept card payments. They are growing, obviously. You know, we are living in the 21st century, but when you go to temples and shrines, most likely a lot of the time they will want you to pay in cash. And at the vending machines at temples and shrines, also sometimes you need to pay by cash, not by card. Although most museums and big parks, you will be able to pay by card. So bear that in mind. I'm just going to check what you guys have to say. In fact, I have two. For those of you who don't know, I am a little bit of a Tokyo Banana fanatic. And I have one here. Looks like this. Highly recommend that you get one if you're in Tokyo on your next trip. And think of me when you're eating it. Subscribe for the Tokyo Banana. And what I was going to say is that actually I only have the bananas here, up here. They symbolize how many live streams before my next trip. And actually, I only have right now two more live streams before my next. Oh, there we go. 2 more live streams before my next trip. So we have next Sunday, the following Sunday, and then the following Sunday I am in Japan, and I will be live streaming from Japan. Obviously, I'll talk about that at another time. But yeah, my Tokyo Banana has been frozen, and what I do is I purchase them in Japan. It's a bit frozen yet. And I basically put them in the freezer because they have a short shelf life. And I also have a Ginza strawberry because today I'm feeling a little bit peckish, and I'm gonna also eat this frozen Ginza strawberry. And obviously I have my Coke Zero. What are you guys drinking? If you're a member, show off with a Coke Zero emoji right now. Kanpai, everyone. So, the next, well, let's see what you guys have to say. Sure, there was a €500 note. Maybe you're thinking of that. Maybe I'm thinking of that. Maybe. £100 Scottish. Ooh. €500. There used to be a $500 and a $1,000. Crazy. I know that the Swiss have a crazy, like really big currency. Coke Zero. You could eat one now. 5 left. 5 Tokyo bananas left. Nice. You could still snort coke with $1 bills. Blue. Ow. Kampai. You miss drinking hoppy. I'm not a fan of hoppy, actually. Curtis. I'm not a fan of hoppy. Interestingly. I like iron brew. Cold green tea is nice, Jim Ross. I agree. All right. Have you noticed a difference in all these years that you've come to Japan in costs for activities that you would have done differently in the past? Like I mentioned, this live stream is sort of like a little bit of research for a video that I'm planning to put together about costs and money. And one of the things that I have access to all of my what I paid for all my hotels across the last 10 or 11 years. I was looking through my archive of bills and stuff like that and hotel reservations. And I have from 2015 onwards, I have hotel fees, hotel bills, what I paid for per night for the rooms. So I was thinking that one of the segments in that video would be to compare, what that same hotel costs now to what I paid in 2016. I think it would be very interesting, and that would probably answer your question, but you might have to wait for that video. And have I noticed some cost increases for activities? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't say that I've seen any sudden big jumps in what we pay, but there's definitely been costs in activities. Even Tori Kozoku, which is a very popular izakaya chain in Japan, raised their prices, I think, last year. There's loads of snacks in 7-Eleven and across Japan that have raised their prices in the last year or so. The only thing is that it's been so incremental for me personally that visits Japan so often that I don't notice as much. Froggy has a double Coke Zero. Yes. This is my last live stream, as I will be there on Friday night for dinner. Somebody's going to be better off than us on Friday night. Yeah. Yeah, have a great time. Have a great time. Tried the alcohol vending machines without much success. It would not accept my USA ID. Oh, interesting. I wonder. I think that you need a special ID card, like a my number card, because I remember that when I was with Tokyo Drew, and just I've been remembering Tokyo Drew a lot this week. But when I was with Tokyo Drew, he showed me how you needed a special card to buy tobacco from the tobacco vending machines. I have never had that. That would be an interesting spreadsheet. It definitely is. I forgot I had it. I only discovered it in the last week or two, or maybe 3. And I was like, ooh, I could do something with this information. That's very, very useful information. Kazumi is arriving Sunday. Ooh. Yeah, Froggy. I hope Moses. I hope Froggy does update us. Doesn't forget us. Keeps an eye on everything, but not too much because she needs to enjoy Japan. Do you think these price hikes in JR line will affect locals too, or just tourists? Everything JR is going to probably affect locals a lot more than tourists, especially because the increment for JR East, for example, is on all, like, using the Yamanote line, etc. They use this daily. Commuter passes, I think, are going up. Everything's going up, so they're going to feel it a lot more than us. I think that as tourists, we are a little bit immune to price increases, even though my update did mention, the price increase and maybe a little bit sensationalist. But at the end of the day, the reality is that as tourists, we don't think a lot about how we're spending our money, like when it comes to those small amounts. That is a reality. Toriki is 390 now. Indeed, yeah, indeed. Just about to finish your cruise. Cliff Dog. Nice. Right, next one. So I want to talk about ATMs and how to take cash using a card in Japan. And I think that the unsung hero, the main hero here is definitely 7-Eleven Bank. Not just because you'll find a 7-Eleven pretty much everywhere across the whole of Japan. And I don't think I've ever been to a 7-Eleven that doesn't have an ATM, although I'm sure that there must be some that don't have ATMs in them. So finding an ATM is just straightforward and super easy if you go to a 7-Eleven. And 7-Eleven Bank accepts most, I can't talk, accepts most foreign credit cards and debit cards. However, I've had issues in the past where my various 7-Eleven would not accept my card, and I went to Family Mart and they did accept my card. So I think generally, convenies with ATMs are the way to go. And I wanted to talk about a sort of golden banana rule that I've spoken about, I think last week or the week before, and that is the fact that different companies, 7-Eleven, Yodobashi, Big Camera, for example, etc. Like big companies, sometimes they have agreements with credit card issuers. For example, I remember once that with Big Camera, if I use my Visa card, then I would get a 5% discount on top of my tax-free. If I use my Visa card, that's as an example. There was some kind of a promotion or some kind of an agreement with Visa between Big Camera that allowed that discount. So, and I believe that discount still exists. Every now and then I do ask, and I do get the discount, but it has to be a Visa card. I believe it's got to be a Visa card. Now with 7-Eleven, I believe that they must have some kind of an agreement with MasterCard, because I have a MasterCard debit card and I have a Visa debit card. If I use my Visa debit card, then no problem taking cash out of the ATM, but I will be charged the ATM fee, which is standard. But if I pay or I try to get cash out using my MasterCard, then I don't have any fees. I don't have to pay any fees. So in essence, I am really getting the money without any charges. So I'd like people to try that out. If you do have a MasterCard, taking cash out from an ATM from a 7-Eleven, let me know what you think. I think it's definitely a big golden banana tip that I will be definitely double checking on my trip in 3 weeks time or 2.5 weeks time. Now I will be definitely trying to take some cash out using my MasterCard and taking some cash out using my Visa card and see what the difference is. But from my experience in the past, MasterCard has meant 0 transaction fees using Revolut, and I don't think it's a Revolut thing, actually, coming to think of it. I think it's actually a MasterCard thing. Yeah, Japan Post also accepts foreign credit cards. You're absolutely right there. I'm not changing my Suica use when in Tokyo and going around by public transport. Time spent on optimizing the already quite affordable public transportation system is wasted, in my opinion. Yeah, this is one of the things that I mentioned. By the way, Lani, I'm doing well. Thank you very much. Lord McGray, this is one of the things that I mentioned when it came to using passes or getting the Tokyo-wide pass or whatever. In my opinion, the style that I travel around Tokyo is that I just want to be able to hop on any train line that I want to, whether it's Metro or JR or Toei or whatever. Like, I just want to be able to get from A to B the most efficiently, the quickest way that I can, with the station the closest that I can. And having a pass sometimes for me personally means that I'm locked to certain railways, and most of the time travelers make mistakes and they forget and they end up going on JR anyway and end up spending more. So I think that I would agree with you in that respect. Yeah, 7-Eleven have 24/7 support phone right there. Really, I've never had to use the 24/7. Do they speak in English? 7 bank ATMs are all over. Indeed, Bojo Pigeon. Indeed. 7-Eleven works fine with 0 fees with my card. Peace Prog, what I was talking about specifically was the fee from the machine, not the fee from the bank. Post offices are my go-to for ATMs. Quiet space for multiple arms. ATMs. Arms? ATMs. Multiple arms. All with credit cards. Oh my goodness. You take your Discover card. Ooh. Did know about post offices. We'll keep them in mind. Gureka. Costco JP only takes MasterCard. Damn. I just wanna zoom. What? I travel a lot in Tokyo. My Suica card costs go up because of my trips a day. I think I would notice that a little bit. Then indeed, yeah. Okay. Now, I want to touch upon something else, and that is Google Maps, because Google Maps a lot of the times I find is the best way to get from A to B. It's definitely the most updated database of locations. So if you want to go somewhere and find something specific, then Google Maps is probably your go-to. It will get you 95% of the way. Obviously, there's a lot of places that are, basement level or above, and you do need to use your common sense and try to figure out where the place is, However, one of the things that I have to warn people about Google Maps is don't necessarily believe the opening hours and the days of the week where things are open or closed. There are many times that it will say that something is open on a certain day and you get there, it's closed. Or there are certain times that it says it's open between 9 and 4 and you get there at 9 and it doesn't open till 11. That's happened a fair bit, so I find that the information can be rather outdated. And in the same way, if the Google Maps listing says that they accept card, then also be careful, because they might not accept card. Just be aware of that. Always carry cash. And when it comes to trying to get updated information, I think that Instagram is actually king for establishments, cafes, restaurants, etc. A lot of these places that are not like super old will have Instagram pages, and a lot of the times they actually update their Instagram pages with opening times, special offers, etc. And if not, you could just contact them directly there via Instagram. So that's what I do. I've never paid an ATM fee. That's what I meant. It's a Halifax Clarity MasterCard. Oh, MasterCard, you see? So I think you're right. It's a MasterCard bit that's making it a zero ATM fee. Okay. I was just mentioning how getting some cash out from ATMs, if you use MasterCard, you don't get any fees. Just download a digital Wise card and we'll get a physical card. Yeah, definitely get a physical card. I have smart glasses recording on all the time. Is that legal? We are in Japan. That's a question for Japan Ichiban, because he uses it all the time. I'd love Japan Ichiban to chime in on that one. Yeah, Google Maps has the price of public transport, and they get it right most of the time, I'd say. Sometimes you have to remember that it's a base fare, and they might not include like the reserve seat. Yeah, Japanese stores have irregular schedules, so you always have to check with their own social media, I would say. If there's a website on Google Maps, I will go to that to double check the time. Yeah, definitely. Basically, what I'm saying is just double check the listing on Google Maps. The location will be correct. You'll be able to get there using Google Maps, but the information might not be up to date. I went to 3 places in a day at New Year, and all of them were not open when I went, but Google said that they were. But that may be a specific New Year's thing, Yeah. post offices will always have lowest ATM fees. Now, this is the question for you. And the question is, Kazumi, are post office ATMs available 24 hours a day, as are the ones from, convenience like 7-Eleven? Because I know that in the past they used to shut down between certain hours. Like, is that still a thing with the post office? Is Pokemon Go good in Japan? Pokemon Go is pretty brilliant in Japan, especially in the big cities. It depends on what you're recording. There is a law called about portrait rights in Japan, so look that up and ensure that all my recordings aren't focused on the people, more of general video. Yeah. Right, next. So a lot of people sometimes ask me about, I don't have a 10,000 yen coin on me, although I know I have a 10,000 yen coin, 10,000 yen note, sorry, not coin. I know that I have a 10,000 yen note. So a lot of people sometimes ask me whether or not you can pay with a 10,000 yen note, because a 10,000 yen note might seem like a lot of money. I think that it's very common for you to carry multiple 10,000 yen notes, and it's also very common for you to pay with a 10,000 yen note. You can pay for anything with a 10,000 yen note, and I don't think that the cashier will even bat an eyelid. They're used to it. You can get yourself a bottle of water and pay with a 10,000 yen note. I've never had any issues where they've said, oh, we don't have change, or oh, we don't accept, do you have smaller? I've never had that issue. So when it comes to paying with a 10,000 yen note, don't worry. They're used to it. I've never had a problem with 10,000 yen notes. Indeed, the limits on your ATM is at the same for all machines in convenience stores. I mean, it depends on whether it's a 7-Eleven. If it's 7-Eleven, it'll all be the same. I've seen vending machines that take 10,000 yen notes. I've never seen a vending machine that takes a 10,000 yen note and gives you the change in bills. That was pretty cool, Bojo. Not sure if the post office ATM areas have a second entry door for out of hours. I'll check. Yeah, this is I think that this is the problem with the post office vending machines, that they close. They literally close. So like, but at least you have ATMs at convenience. If that's the case, if you find that you are stuck and you can't get any cash out from the post office, you can always go to a conveni that's open, and maybe in those instances you can do that, right? I paid with a 10,000 yen note with no problem, and the cashier counted out the way they count money in Japan. They do. They do. They make sure that they show you when they present the money. They sort of like make sure that they they do that, don't they? Okay. Now another thing that I wanted to bring up when it comes to paying is there's like a coin tray. You'll find that at many cash registers, restaurants, izakayas, ticket booths, manned ticket booths, etc., there is usually a plastic, I think blue or green tray with some little grooves, and the idea is that you put your bills there, they take the tray, and then they give you the change back in that tray, and they return the tray to you. So usually I've never had any instances where I've directly passed cash to the cashier, or I've always put it on the tray. In fact, even in the past when I was more of a noob and I've tried to do that, they've sort of presented the cash, the tray, and they've said you need to put the cash in the tray. Has anybody had that experience? Oh, ticket machine, not vending machine. I was like, drink vending machine. I've never seen that before. Change machines in arcades 100% because they want your money, Clay. You'd have to check on Google because it all depends on what country you're from also, right? I use them all the time, but in some small town shops don't have a big float, so aren't thrilled. Interesting, really. Hey, thank you so much. Luis, Tiago, welcome to Chat Ninja. Arigato, thank you so much. That's a polite way to hand over money in Japan. Yeah, definitely, Gazumi. Cashiers will often point to the tray for cash, and I think that this is an interesting one. It's one of those things that is lost. Like, it happens, but you don't notice that it's happening. There's lots of little details in Japan that happen. One of them is like the presenting of the little plastic tray, that you don't notice that it's a thing until you think of it, or until somebody mentions it to you, right? It happens all the time, yeah. Oh, thank you for smashing the like button also. Thanks for becoming a member. Because of your advice, I was prepared and used the tray. Yay! Lani. On my last trip, I put my money in the tray and the cashier handed the money directly back to me. Wow. That would have thrown me off also, I think. Oh, yeah, I think it would have. Usually chain restaurants and standard high volume use those trays, but everyone has them. Probably the security cameras are pointed at the tray. Maybe. Are you a dog or a cat person? I like cats, but I love dogs also. But I would probably have a cat because I don't have the time for a dog, but I would love having a dog. Actually, one of the things that I wanted to mention is I've been working on a secret project for a while now. I started this project well over a year ago, and now I'm in the position, or the point where I'm actually putting everything together, and that is, I am, drum roll, working on a guidebook, a digital guidebook that I hope that I can share. I don't know what the details will be yet, but I hope that I can sell or whatever, this guidebook with all the information that you need for a Japan trip, your first Japan trip, with lots of golden banana tips and lots of insights and lots of stories of things that have happened to me or things that I've learned along the way. And actually, when I do these live streams, I think, oh, I need to add the tray thing to the guidebook. So that's one of the things that I need to do. I need to add the tray thing that we just spoken to as a little tip or a little reminder to the guidebook, and hopefully it's something that I can have ready in the next month or so. I have all the information pretty much. I'm just compiling it all, putting it together, and hopefully it'll be ready, and hopefully something that you guys might be interested in, and if not, it's okay. People put money in those trays. Hey, Gazumi! Oki Island coffee. I'm so excited about the Oki Islands. Guys, so excited. Yes, it's happening. Thank you so much. In my last visit, not many stores use the money tray. Really? Interesting. I used to sit a cat and also an iguana. Really? Did you put the iguana on the cat? Good luck with the book. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much there, you know? I think there's so many travel influencers that are doing similar things, and I thought, you know, like, I have my own take on things, and also not only do I have my own take, but I think that my experience is very different. A lot of some travel influencers that are putting out digital guidebooks out and selling them or whatever, they live in Japan, and that's all well and good. They have great insights from living in Japan, but I really do still approach things through the lens of a tourist, because I don't live in Japan. So hopefully I'll be able to show that. It won't be a bestseller. It will be sold digitally and privately, and it won't be like in stores or anything like that to start with. I think the tray is a cultural holdover from when paper money was considered dirty. Maybe also, probably. Yay, finally. Frog Lady's like, yay, finally. Well, it took ages, you know. I mean, like I said, I started this project so long ago. I have a document, basically, where every time I think of something, I put it in the document. And now I've got to the point where I've got the document and I've hashed out all the information into sections. and I'm starting to compile it into a book with beautiful images and that kind of thing. So I'm at that position. I think I'm at a very good position. And one of the ideas is that I will probably, I can't promise, but I will probably have a companion video that will be exclusive, that will not be on YouTube, and will go with a guidebook. So there will be the guidebook and a companion video, or a video and a companion guidebook, if you see what I mean. So yeah. 日本語 musukashi desu. 勉強しません. I don't study Japanese really. My Japanese is pretend Japanese level. If you look at my last video where I was in Happy Gaijin, my second channel, you'll see that I get by with a lot of gestures, broken Japanese, and I do learn, because usually when I make a mistake, a local will sort of like correct me, and that's how I learn. But I wouldn't say that my level of Japanese is great at all. My first time at Kura Sushi, I was a little confused that I was politely rushed out, and then I struggled a little with the machine where I had to pay. In all other restaurants, there was a person there. There's many restaurants, ramen stores, curry places, rural locations where you do purchase your ramen via a vending machine, and sometimes there's nobody there. You want a signed copy? Well, that might be a little bit difficult, but at the moment it's going to be digital. Although I'll see, maybe I can provide a special book for like top tier patrons or something. I don't know, no promises, but can't hurt to make a physical copy for Amazon. You could probably find a publisher easily nowadays. Everybody wants a signed copy now. Yeah. Hopefully there'll be some nuggets in there, you know, but it's also a great way. It will be a great way to support the channel and support me, and get something in return, you know. So anyway, enough about the guidebook. I just threw it out there. It's working. It's working. It's working. Signed copies for patrons, maybe. Yeah, I'll have to figure out how to do that. But let me get it finished before I could even think about like actually printing it or anything like that. All right, I have a quick question for you. The question, I'm actually going to type it out because I haven't been typing out anything, but I have a question for you. And that is, this would be an interesting one. I'd love to know what you guys think. What is the... where? I just wrote it. The fastest way to lose money. What is the fastest way to lose money? That is my question there. As in, let's say that you are somewhere, you could spend all your money. I think my Tokyo banana is still a little bit frozen, but I am too hungry. Break the bread. Tokyo banana. In Japan. Yeah, Bashi, does YouTube not, have you got the bell notification on? Chicken nuggets and guidebook. Bitcoin, lose money or spend money? Well, both. Lose money. Okay, Wagyu. In Japan, probably taxis. Good one. Pachinko. Go with your kids. I mean, I can imagine that Japanese Japan, because I went to Japan 2 summers ago with my friends and their kids. They're like my nephew and niece, really. And because they are like my nephew and my niece, obviously I spent money on them. And it was like, yeah, have some, I'll pay for this, you know, and yeah, I can see that happening. Claw machines and gacha. That's my number one, like, easy to lose money. Spend money or lose money. Oh yeah, charging places in bars, izakayas, high-end restaurants, or watch shops. Souvenirs, kabukicho. Don't do that, please. Watch my video, my warning video. Buying fruit. That's a good one. Buying fruit. Fastest way to lose money in Japan, go shopping for anime, manga, merch in Nakano Broadway. Nakano Broadway is kind of crazy, I agree. Interesting. Chinese pickpockets are now on the rise in Japan. They're targeting tourists. I'm sure that they are. What's this strawberry one like? Stay in a hotel in Tokyo. Kobe beef. Oh, this one is kind of cute, this one. Look. This is called a Ginza strawberry. Strawberry Ginza, I think. Like a Tokyo banana, a Ginza strawberry. And it's basically a Tokyo banana, but it's strawberry. Because, look. It is literally like a strawberry version of the Tokyo banana. It's delicious, but I prefer the banana. Kobe beef and pachinko. Don Quixote. Gachapon. Hostess bar dog. How many hostess bars do you go to? I only went in for milk. Came out with 2 kilos of fami chicky. Scams. There's always scams. I mean, the biggest scams I would say are just, you know, getting you to pay the cover charge that they add or having a menu without prices. Kabukicho. Scams. JR Pass, maybe. Host bars. Trading card shops. Nakano Broadway watch shops. Wow. Lots of ideas here. Bean paste. Actually, I always buy bean paste. I laugh, but I always bring back bean paste. Stay at Disney Resort Hotel. Tokyo bananas. I gave some to my father and his wife. They love them. Also a friend. When I go to Japan this year, I have to buy at least 6 for each of them. Walking into arcade and having no losing track of how much money you have spent. Indeed. Fastest way to start losing money in Japan is to start spending money in Japan. So much cool stuff to buy. Indeed. I'm just looking. I can't remember what this video was. I can't remember. I mean, that's pretty cool though. Strawberry milk. It's not okay for family friendly channel. You can say it. You can say it. Bento, concert addiction, t-shirts, sweaters. CDs, Akihabara. I don't think I need to answer. I think you've all answered for yourselves. You know, all the different ways that you can spend money very easily in Japan. You know? And then, where is it? I think that's all the points that I had. But what I was gonna say was that I highly suggest that you never have an empty wallet. That you always have a minimum, at least a minimum of 1,000 yen, because that can be, you know, if something happens, you lose your Suica, your phone dies, you can't use your digital Suica payment, you need to get on the train. At least having 1,000 yen will get you, you know, hopefully to your station or closer to your station where you can walk. So always have that security, that backup somewhere. somewhere in your wallet is what I recommend. Eating your lunch. You're always eating, dude. So let's open the chat to some questions. Any specific questions? Anything you want to know? Anything you want to talk about? Any topics that you think are important? It's been an hour of streaming, but I'm happy to open up the floor to some more questions. I usually spend on my credit card as much as possible for the first week. Then by the second week, I start chipping away at the cash I brought. Indeed. As I said last time on Discord, I always carry all my money with me. You do. You did say that. I was like, what? It means I could be walking around with 100 to 200,000 yen at any given time. Very dangerous combination if you walk into a Don Quixote and you know that you have 200,000 yen that you could spend, though. Right? Very difficult. Very scary. I will be in Japan soon. I've got my pocket Wi-Fi sorted. I've got my Visit Japan web sorted. I've got my hotel sorted. I fly into Narita and I fly out of Haneda. I will be staying in Hamamatsucho, by the way. And I think that I will be arriving towards the end of the peak. So probably I will be arriving and the petals will just have started to fall. But yeah. You can also withdraw cash from many ATMs. I did it at the post office ATM one time just to see the fees. It wasn't too bad. We spoke about that earlier on. The best times to visit Okinawa, which months are better to avoid the rainy season? You know what? I actually don't know. But I'm guessing, you'd have to double check. I'm guessing that the best time to visit would be similar to just away from typhoon season, which is basically like mid-July to middle of September is probably where you want to not go. So don't remember us already. I want to buy 2 different local JR passes. If I buy them via JR, am I able to activate them at different times? Yes, you can purchase passes and activate them when you want them to start. 10 to 20,000 yen on me, but the biggest danger to me is the fact that I have a Revolut card with pre-deposited yen. Indeed. Rainy season is April or so. Rainy season is April or so. Where? In Okinawa? Am I going to live stream with Alyssa? I don't know. I really don't know yet. Probably. The last few times I visited, Alyssa's been very, very busy, and in fact, the last time I visited, I hardly saw her. So, has anyone used a trading 212 card over there? I'm thinking of taking that as well as cash. It says you get an interbank rate when paying with. Never even heard of that. That sounds interesting. So many took a bananas to your September trip. It will come before you know. Okinawa is hot from May until September or October. I usually go to Okinawa around March. April is the rainy season. Okay. So April, so I'm guessing the rainy season starts in Okinawa, I'm guessing, and it moves from Okinawa to the main islands. So so then maybe October might be good. I'm just guessing. I mean, I went to Okinawa in July, August, and it was absolutely fine. I got the tail end of a typhoon, but it was fine. And when it comes to typhoons, I think that if you factor in enough days, a typhoon might sort of affect things for 2 or 3 days. 1 day of heavy rain, potentially, and then a day on either side for on-off, bad weather. From Kyushu to Tokyo, I think the best way would actually be to fly from Kyushu to Tokyo. There are many like low like budget airlines, like Peach Airlines, etc., where you could probably fly at a fraction of the price. Oh, we do. We always have lemon sours, and actually, yes, it's true. We did stream in the last one. We probably will. I'm guessing. And does it rain every day? No. I think that April is usually okay, although it can rain, obviously. Robin! Hopefully I get to see him again. Typhoons are definitely hit or miss. Okinawa has pretty much typhoon-proofed everything. So you just have to wait for it to pass. Then life is back to normal. Agree. Just know when the peak is of the typhoon, and know, the tail end of the typhoon and the beginning of the typhoon. And, those 3 days, just be careful. Be careful with budget airlines. Back in the Clay has a point here. They get you if you have more or heavier luggage. Lower limits can mean more than regular airlines. Just be aware of when you book your ticket that you get the right luggage allowance, basically. Right, guys, I think I'm going to leave it there. But it's been a great live stream. I hope that talking about money, cash, spending, and that there's been plenty of tips, not just from me, but in the chat also. And don't forget to like and hype this video after it's gone live, after the live has finished. And check out my latest video on Happy Gaijin, where I visit Rishiri Island, which is a very remote island in the very north of Japan. I nearly had a disaster there, but I averted it. And that video is a unique video because it actually comes with 3 audio tracks. The standard audio track is a little bit like ASMR. I don't really speak through it, and it's just like me traveling without any commentary. You can change the audio track to Klingon, I know. And if you change it to Klingon, then you'll be able to get an audio, English audio commentary. So I will be talking about my experience, what I thought of the places, things that happened, how I went about things, etc. And then I have a Spanish audio track on that video also, that if you choose Spanish, it will be a commentary, but it will be in Spanish. So for you Spanish viewers that prefer to watch things in Spanish, you can now watch my Happy Gaijin video in English, Spanish, or without language. Pretty cool, right? I think it's an experiment worth trying, and hopefully it will benefit you. And on that note, don't forget to like, subscribe, and thank you so much everyone for being so awesome. Portuguese, no, because I don't speak Portuguese, but maybe it's auto-dubbed into Portuguese. The Spanish dub is actually me speaking Spanish. Hola, yo puedo hablar español, así que pude doblar el video en español. And the English one is just my commentary, things that happened that you will probably miss if you watch the normal version. Anyway, thanks everyone. See you soon. Stay positive. Be a happy gaijin. Till next time.